Hi everybody, and welcome to this reading. This is the reading for the Sagittarius cycle, which we move into on November 22nd through December 21st, 2019. And this is the reading for non-Sagittarians. I have a separate one for Sagittarius, and this is for all the rest of us who are going to be navigating through the astrology cycle, as we always do. This is the ninth house. Sagittarius is the ninth house, and the ninth house represents higher education, higher thought and perception, long distance travel, etc., things like that. Okay, so there's a few things that I just want to point out before we get started with the cards. So Sagittarius is the archetype of I perceive, and we've moved through Scorpio, the I transform, if you watched last month's videos, into the I perceive. So we're moving from, for one thing, water to fire. All right, and so any of us that have elemental polarities within ourselves, elemental imbalances with fire and water, can feel off for a couple of days because you're moving from going within perception, water, the heart, to action and moving, and it can feel off-putting for some of us. So fire element governs career, passion, action, play, inner child, and Sagittarius is the mutable fire sign, so it can move either way between the cardinal sign of Aries and the fixed sign of Leo. It's the mutable fire element sign. It represents exploration and movement, expanding knowledge, seeking truth, higher learning, and it also represents courts and laws. Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is the great expander, and Jupiter's about abundance and everything big, right? But we want that balanced. And Sagittarius, interestingly, the tarot card that's associated with Sagittarius is the Temperance card, the balance card, right? Because you can't just have expansion. We need to have contraction as well. And when we move into Capricorn, that's represented by the great teacher, Saturn. So right now, interestingly, we're in the sign ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter has been in Sagittarius and is moving into Capricorn on December 3rd. So whatever house Saturn represents in your personal astrology chart, if you know it, it's going to be shifting into the next house. So for example, I'm a Scorpio Libra rising. So my first house starts at the very end of Libra into Scorpio. So Sagittarius is mostly my second house, but my Jupiter falls into my third house because it's in Capricorn. So I'm going to be having my Jupiter move from Sagittarius, my second house, which is my house of money and finances, into my natal placement of Jupiter, the third house, which represents communication, internet, expressing yourself, writing, that kind of stuff. So Jupiter likes to leave us little gifts before he changes signs, so look for that as well. And Mercury has moved from retrograde to direct on November 20th, and I know a lot of people are really relieved. It's funny in the Sagittarius when I was talking about how if you fixate and focus on the negative aspects of Mercury retrograde, everything's going to be a problem for you. And then when I did the video, my video ended up flipping halfway through, and I had some technical problems. But what I do want to say about Mercury is when it goes retrograde, it's a time of us to communicate within ourselves. Communication externally can be a little harder. Yes, it can cause problems with machinery and computers and stuff like that. However, it's important that we take time to go within and allow integration periods, okay? So during this Sagittarius cycle, there's a lot going on. In the United States, we've got Thanksgiving, so the holiday season's in full swing. We have a beautiful new moon on November 26th, so set your intentions for this cycle. And think of Sagittarius and what it represents. I perceive. you know, that great expansion, movement, seeking truth, higher learning. So you want to be coming from there as you set these new moon intentions. The full moon, which is in Gemini, Sagittarius's sister sign, is on the 12th of December. And also, I already told you, Jupiter's going to switch signs December 3rd. And we have winter solstice on the last day of Sagittarius as it moves into we move into Capricorn. So that's the day of equal light and dark. It's obviously summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, but in the northern hemisphere over here, it's winter solstice. So really a lot going on. But again, this time of, yes, I was born in November, so there is new birth always going on. But this cycle of autumn and moving into winter is the time for release, for integration, for generating and going within a little bit, okay? So we're going to use 2 decks. I've got the Crystal Ally cards and the Hidden Realm Tarot, and they're underneath, 1 unicorn card and 1 of the Abraham Hicks cards. And this is the basis of what we need to know to navigate this beautiful Sagittarius time from November 22nd to December 21st. This second card is the lesson card. What are we being asked to learn as we move through this cycle? This is the Spirit card. This is the direct message from Spirit for us for this month. And then the outcome is the outcome of the Sagittarius cycle. Please remember that we're never done. We're moving into Capricorn after that, and there's going to be a whole new set of cards, a whole new cycle. This is the outcome of if we can work with these energies, receive these messages, and make some shifts. This is what the outcome is going to be for us as we get ready to move into Capricorn. And this is the influencer energy surrounding the whole card. I've asked to incorporate the bottom cards representing the energies switching from water to fire, switching from Scorpio, I transform, to Sagittarius, I perceive. So let's get started. All right, so the first card with the Crystal Allies, the basis of what we need to know as we navigate through this beautiful, mutable fire sign of Sagittarius, the expanding knowledge and higher truth. Wow, we've got the storm element, people. So the basis for us is transformation. The basis, again, we went through it through Scorpio, and maybe it's more about we've come through the storm. Let's see how this pans out. For some of us, this storm element is now, because we're in this I perceive time and fire element, a little bit of, even though it's November, and that's why Sagittarius is more of a mutable fire. It can vacillate between acting and staying still. All right. But storm element is saying 2 things. Something may need to tweak, and it could be this lesson card. Something needs to shift and transform and change. Storm element is for us. It's comprised of all 4 elements of earth, fire, water, and wind, or air, as most people call it. So the basis for us this month, again, is learning to live in dynamic balance in the center of storm, where our earth, our fire, our water, and our air are balanced out, okay? We're seeking higher truth now, and with higher truth comes transformation, evolution, growth, empowerment. The lesson card for us is divine connection, okay? So again, here's what we need to take this basis card for us navigating through Sagittarius. And the divine connection card is a wind element card or air element, and that governs our thoughts, our belief systems, our perceptions, our doorway to spirit. And the divine connection card is governed by amethyst, okay? You see the storm element card, this is the archetype of storm element. We're being given the gift of getting through this Sagittarius cycle, coming out the other end by the outcome moving into Capricorn, having some mastery of how to work with change and transformation, and then living in dynamic, empowered balance in the calm of storm. So what the lesson is asking us, We have to learn to be connected to source. Meditation is the #1 best tool you can use. Prayer is beautiful, but with prayer, often what we do is we are asking for things, begging for things, pleading. Whereas meditation, we're connecting one-on-one with source. We're connecting with our inner source and the source that's all around us. So that's what we're meant to learn through this gift of storm element, to transform ourselves. And if you think about what I said, the archetype of Sagittarius, even though it's fire element, it's I perceive. The archer is always seeking that higher truth and higher knowledge, right? If we're coming from this place of aligned with divine, there's your higher truth right there. So that's what the rest of us are learning, the non-Sagittarians. Beautiful, beautiful thing to learn. So do your breath work, your meditation, your walks in nature, you're connecting, you're aligning with yourself. And remember, you're always connected with source. Even when you're feeling full of ego and at your worst, it's just we don't feel it because source can't meet us there. So that's what we're meant to learn and understand. God, the creator, source, the universe loves us no matter what we're thinking, saying, or doing. Don't cut yourself up if you're having an off moment. Go back to this message of divine connection and get connected. Okay? The spirit card is integration. This is so beautiful, and this resonates exactly with what I was talking about with retrogrades and this part of the year. We are always on the go, and Sagittarians are on the go, but they know how to work with fire. Spirit is asking us during this cycle to drop, stop, and roll and integrate during this storm cycle, during this time of divine connection. Integration is one of the most important aspects of healing, growth, evolution, and learning. If you think about what Sagittarius represents, higher learning, expanding knowledge, seeking truth, I perceive. You can't act on it and work with it and move forward in it just by reading it in a book and learning it, or rushing from healer to healer for new ways to heal yourself. You have to stop and allow the integration of it. That's when knowledge comes to wisdom. That's when what we read changes within us and we can utilize it. So that's what Spirit is asking us. This is a fire element card, and Sagittarius is a fire element sign. So Spirit Source is asking us to learn through divine connection that we're going to come out this cycle understanding the importance of integration, understanding the importance of taking this time, using the sacred cycles of the moon, right? We've got the new moon, we've got the first quarter moon, we've got the full moon, we've got the third quarter moon. They all represent something else. They're all equally important. We focus so much on the full moon and the new moon. There's a time in the seasons where it's more about, nature understands that. It's more about going within and allowing winter and fall to represent what it's supposed to represent. And you know, yin and yang is a balance of female and male energies. You know, it's not just about that. It's about every sunrise meeting every sunset. Every darkness meets the light. You know, all polarities come together, but we need to integrate in order to bring that in and balance it out for us. The outcome through this cycle for us moving into Capricorn is release. Interestingly, this was the spirit card for Sagittarius in the reading that I just recorded. So we're being asked as we move through as we end Capricorn, as we end Sagittarius on winter solstice, December 21st. Wow, I can't talk. We're moving into Capricorn, an earth element sign, and we're being asked to release and let go of. That's another aspect of integration. There's a saying, take what you need and leave the rest. That's what Spirit is saying. Integrate what lessons, what gifts, what wisdom, what higher truth, what knowledge you want to take with you and release the rest. Let it go. Let it go. Allow the divine to carry you. Let go of any negative people, any negative emotions, any negative thoughts you're having about yourself, about others, and move forward. This is a chance for you, for all of us non-Sagittarians, to use this seeking of higher truth and I perceive time to release and let go. Integrate and release. These are really powerful, powerful healing tools and gifts for us. Okay, beautiful souls, so very important. The influencer is protection. So we're being told by Spirit that we are protected during this fallow time, during this storm element activation, during this taking time to connect with the divine, which is probably the most important card here. Allowing for this integration time and releasing. This is governed by Black Obsidian. This is an earth element card, and Black Obsidian is a beautiful, beautiful stone to work with. If you're feeling like you need grounding and protection, it's very, very important. And this is surrounding the whole reading for us. We are protected, but it's also asking us to make sure we protect ourselves. And how do we do that? Well, when you're divinely connected and in alignment, you are protected because you're being led by source. You're being led by your soul. Your soul's not going to put you in a situation that's going to hurt you. Okay? So that's an important message here. Now, the card below the deck represents the message that we are carrying with us from our I Transform Scorpio cycle into our I Perceive. Oh, look what we got. How beautiful is that? We got the love card. This is a water element card governed by rose quartz. So we have 2 water element cards here. Okay. So you're being asked to move into the heart. You're being asked to love yourself. Carry those lessons of transformation from Scorpio and from that season into this I perceive. What do you perceive? You perceive how loved you are. You perceive how much you love yourself. There is also a message of love between family and friends. This is holiday season coming up. This is, there's a lot going on. So the main thing that is coming through though, because this is a message of carrying what you learned in Scorpio, water element, into fire. And the message is coming from the heart, being heart-centered. When you're heart-centered, you can weather any storm. When you're coming from a place of love, first and foremost, self-love, okay? You are connected. You're going to want to meditate and do your spiritual practice and have your sacred space. You understand the importance of integration. Whether you believe Christ was the Son of God or not, he was here, he was an amazing teacher. I happen to believe he was. Christ always took time. He would leave and go into the desert and fast and pray and have his time of renewal and rejuvenation. He understood that, okay? And then release through love. You don't release through judgment and harshness. You release through love. Really, really beautiful. So let's see what the Hidden Realm Tarot has for us during this cycle. So to go with the storm element itself, the archetype of dynamic change, transformation, and dynamic balance is the 5 of Pentacles. So the basis of this, moving from the I Transform is some of us are feeling we're coming from a place of lack. We're feeling afraid. We feel like we don't have enough. Maybe Christmas is coming. There's not just Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. There's tons of different holidays, and it's the end of the year, and we're, moving into a new decade. And so there's a lot of souls who are feeling a sense of lack, who have really been through it all year. But storm element is gifting us with a transformation through this seemingly feeling of lack, okay? Because the 5 of Pentacles, you see that this mother or woman is comforting a child, right? And they both look like they've been through a lot. They're fearful. But the message is things are going to be getting better. You have to shift your mentality. You have to shift your focus. When, again, you come from this place of love and you understand all is truly well, that's where you get the transformation, okay? So there's an earth element, definite shift that needs to be going on. And remember, Jupiter is the abundance planet, and we're in his rulership right now, okay? So yay, that can switch. And then the lesson from the Hidden Realm Tarot is the Fairy Stallion. This is a very, very divine card. It's a major arcana card, and it is normally called the Chariot in regular tarot, but this is the Hidden Realm Elemental Tarot. The Fairy Stallion represents movement toward the divine. The divine hand is leading us forward now. We're ready for this divine connection. We're ready to learn this lesson of letting go, releasing, and moving forward. Very, very beautiful combination of these two cards, okay? So the Spirit card from the Hidden Realm for us non-Sagittarians is the Five of Swords. All right, so this is a very interesting card, and I don't pull clarifiers. I do not believe there are any negative cards, okay? The Five of Swords represents arguments, fighting, discord, but it's a wind element or air element card. So where's the discord? It's in the mind. What is Spirit saying about this? Spirit is saying, meditate, connect, learn the lesson of this divine connection card and this Fairy Stallion card of moving forward, and allow that to integrate deep within you, because when things come up this month, you know, we've got this Five of Pentacles and Five of Swords. Fives represent change. Fives can feel heavy. It's like, fasten your seatbelts, change is inevitable. But yay, because who wants to be in this place of lack? Who wants to be arguing? So what Spirit is saying is, when we're in these times of, and you know, let's face it, I just said in America, in the US, Thanksgiving's coming up, and a lot of families have issues that come up, fighting. But the Spirit card is saying, this card is when we fall into this space of wanting to be right and wanting to prove our point so much, nobody wins. First and foremost, we don't win. And we learn through divine connection that there is no winning. We don't need to win. So this Five of Swords is complementing this integration card. Allow yourself, it's so important you allow yourself to integrate these messages and this fire element aspect of Sagittarius that is higher learning, higher truth, okay? Because something is going to be revealed to you. It could be what I said, but it also could be Spirit is saying that during this month, things are going to come to light for you. You know, Mercury has gone direct, and Jupiter is moving and shifting gears. There's a lot going on. So, you know, during this full moon and then the new moon, there may be things being revealed, and that's okay. Let it go. But utilize this message if you're feeling really off, like you want to just strike back at somebody. Just please remember what Spirit is saying about this card, okay? I've had this card in personal readings for myself, and I've not listened, and I've regretted it. And now it came up for me 2 weeks ago, and I was able to really work with it in a positive way. And I got through my weekly, it was a weekly reading. I got through it, and it was such a beautiful feeling to understand, because I was always cutting myself and hurting myself, and I would get fearful when it would come up, because I'd think, oh, this means I'm going to be fighting with somebody this week. But that was all my thought. That was not being divinely connected. That was not moving forward and coming from a place of love. That was coming from a place of fear. Let's integrate this love. Let's integrate what we learned through Scorpio into this new awakening, this higher truth time. And then the outcome for us through this cycle is the Six of Cups. So water and water, we've got double water as we move forward into Capricorn. You know, water is in polarity to fire. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs for some of us, and that's okay. Rest, take care of yourself. We're balancing a lot between work, end of year, holiday time, family time, all kinds of stuff, you know, getting through. We've been through a lot. This Six of Cups is that people could be coming back into your life. We move into Capricorn, we're being asked to not over romanticize what's going on, to come from the heart. When we're heart centered, this card is so important, because some of these moments for some of us are going to feel like challenge. Okay, it could feel like challenge. Water element, love, heart-centered, divine connection. I feel like these two cards are the most integral and important cards for us to remember. And you can even go through this again and fast forward and listen to the messages of these two cards if you want. But so the outcome, as we release what no longer serves, we're getting reunions. Someone may be coming back in your life for a good reason. Okay, or to finish up something, you know. So remember, please, to not allow your ego self to override you. And again, that doesn't mean you're not of love and of the divine and of creator. It just means that you got out of alignment with your soul. No big deal. Your soul loves you more during this time. Okay. If you can integrate that message, you'll be way ahead of the game. The influencer is the Knight of Cups. So we're being protected through love. We're being protected through love. And, you know, this could represent, we've got the love card here. We've got the Six of Cups as an outcome, and we've got the Knight of Cups. A lot of water here. I really feel you need to release what no longer serves and move forward with this divine connection aspect of self, because some of us, and we're protected through all of this, some of us can bring in a beautiful relationship here. This Knight of Cups represents someone coming in. There's an energy, it's an influencer energy, so it's available for anyone who is feeling like they want to manifest a beautiful relationship. If you can sit with yourself and allow yourself to personally hear for you the specific things for your situation, there's some of us that can be bringing in this beautiful, loving relationship. But this is also indicative of a lot of psychic awareness for us. Protection through connecting with our inner kinesthetic knowing. And it's also protection of not getting too over emotional. Okay, not allowing our emotions to carry away, especially with this Six of Cups outcome, because there could be childhood memories coming back as we get through Thanksgiving and the holiday season and of Thanksgiving and moving into, you know, the December 21st time. So it's really beautiful. Let's see what the hidden realm message is from I transform to I perceive. Wow, we got the Nine of Swords. So a lot of us are really, these wind element cards are about us really allowing our fears to overtake us, because the Nine of Swords, if you look at her, she looks like she's caged and terrified, but she's free to go. This is a tree that is not holding her, okay? And she's got this owl who's looking out for her and trying to tell her that, you know, everything really truly is okay, that the worst thing is your thoughts and your mind, okay? So we're being asked as we move from Scorpio, I transform, into I perceive, to really connect with the divine here. And you know what? When we fall back into lack, into wanting to argue and fight and win at any cost, and into this, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough, We have, allow yourself to sit with it. Allow yourself to remember emotions are our gauge for where our mind is. If we come from a place of love, you can't be in fear. When you're coming from a place of love, you can't be lack. You know, so it's like if you look right here and if you think about how the Temperance card, the Balance card is Sagittarius, as Sagittarius's card, there's a beautiful ability for us to balance out and understand. Just like I talked about cycles of the seasons, we have cycles where we're feeling afraid and nervous and scared, as opposed to coming from this place of heart-centered love and unconditional love, and that is okay. It's okay. But the beautiful thing about it is you can go, wow, how do I feel when I'm like this? And how do I feel when I'm like this? What feels better? How do I get from here to here? So how do I get from here to here? Well, I'll give you what I do. Meditation, nature walking, breath work, sending love and compassion to myself. When I'm feeling like this, I just get into my sacred space and I allow myself to feel it without letting it overwhelm me and overcome me. And once I start feeling, you won't go instantly from that to that, but you feel, maybe you'll go from anger to frustration to despond, to, you know, just kind of a neutral feeling, to a bit of joy, to love. And that's a cycle in itself as well. So that's the message for us, okay? The Abraham Hicks card is, I'll not ask others to become different for me. So that goes very well with these cards, all right? Because this is about us. Everything in your life, whether you have kids, husband, wife, family, they're there, they're family, we love them, we adore them, but at the end of the day, every single one of us is on our own unique path. So we don't want to, just like, and this is a really good message for a Sagittarius cycle for us to go through, because we have the chance to integrate and release and walk into Capricorn with a new understanding of self-freedom, higher truth. We do not like to be pigeonholed and told what to do and to try to make ourselves different for others. But we have to remember we can't ask others to do that. Unconditional love, you're empowered. You're not blaming others for your situation, and you're not forcing others to do what you want them to do. So I'm just going to read this card. Let your vibrational relationship, escrow, percolate, and give it your undivided attention so that you become a vibrational match to it. And then when the laws of attraction bring all of it together, there are not any bugs to work out. Do not ask the person who helped you to define what you want. And you know what? Sometimes it's the people in our life that cause us perceived strife that we think are so horrible and such negative experiences. If you can tweak that when you come from a place of love, you understand the bigger picture. They have helped you define what you want from what you don't want. I want this, I don't want this. I want this, I don't want this. I want this, I don't want this, okay? Do not ask the person who helped you to define what you want to become what you want. We have to release them when we are in that understanding. We can't force them to become what we want them to be so that you can have what you want. Chariot, move on. Move on to what you truly want. Instead, use your willpower to focus upon what you want, and then the universe will bring you what you want. So a very beautiful message that ties in a lot of these cards that seem maybe bewildering. And like I said, I don't do, a lot of readers will do clarifiers for cards that seem negative. I'm not knocking that at all. That's an amazing tool. I just feel that this is really a beautiful reading, and I don't resonate with clarifiers because, like I said, I don't feel this is a negative card. This is a message for us to switch where our thoughts are. This is a message for us to allow ourselves to integrate and go within, to stop, drop, and roll rather than shoot off our mouth in anger. The last card is the unicorn card, and we have hope. So how beautiful is that? Hope is that energy from the unicorns that this too shall pass. Through love, there is always hope. And hope can, you know, the message of hope can sometimes be construed in sort of a, I don't want to say negative, but like a begging, like, oh my gosh, I hope this ends. That's not what this is about. This is about staying positive. This is about the unicorns holding sacred space for you and understanding and showing you that look into the light, look to the love, look to this moving forward, look to integration, look to release, understand how protected you are, stay positive, right? You know, give love and compassion to the beautiful souls who have helped you tweak what you don't want from what you want, and let them go. Let them have their time, or even just stop trying to force it, and maybe they will come back to you in a different way. But that's whether, you know, you can't make someone resonate with where you're resonating. So the unicorns are really showering us with the message of hope this month as we move through this beautiful fire element Sagittarius time, this cycle from November 22nd to December 21st, and get ready to move into Capricorn after that. So I hope this resonated with you, and I hope you can utilize it, beautiful souls. If anyone would like a reading with me, a private reading, you can send me a message. You can DM me on Instagram. You can send me a message on Facebook, Crystal Path of Light. You can also email me at crystalpathoflight@gmail.com. And if you like this video, please like it, share, comment, and subscribe. I wish you a beautiful Sagittarius season and all my love, beautiful souls.